If you're mining Chia, you probably heard about Madmax plotter and that it's faster. That's true. But what cons does it has? Because there are some. Keep watching and you'll see this. Hello everyone, so if you are mining Chia, you probably heard about Madmax plotter and that it's faster. Well, I'll go and I'll tell you, yes, that's true, it is faster. But there are some bad things about that. So I have downloaded the plotter and installed it on my machine. You can find other people videos how to do that, and actually if you update your application it's not even necessary to do that anymore because it can have it by default. Let's jump to the screen and let's see how everything looks when Madmax plotter is running. So the plotter is running and we can see the logs are here very nicely. We can see the status, we can see what's going on. Now if we take a look at our disk information, we see some bad things. Our fast SSD temperature is 62 degrees. Yes, it can stand around 70 degrees and nothing bad will happen for the flash memory itself. But the controller is not that heat resistant as the flash memory. And a temperature like this, 62 degrees, it's already a little bit too much for it. So as we can see, Madmax is using all the possible resource for our machine, and that's why our SSD is heating. It's even 64 degrees now. If we take a look our disk consumption, we can see that it's being consumed quite a lot. Memory is really strange, but not so much, just 65, like 5-6 gigabytes, so really not a lot. And with CPU, well, CPU is normal, but what's really not so good, that SSD is being consumed really much, even too much, I can say. So I would say it's time to think about additional cooling of our SSD disk. Because CPU is everything fine, it has a cooling system, I'm not worrying about it. But about my fast SSD, I would like it to last as long as possible. And as I'm adding hard disks little by little, I prefer to have a slower process and the longer life of my fast SSD than a faster process and shorter life. If I would have tons of hard disks, like a pile of them, waiting until they will be plotted, then yes, probably I would go all in with Madmax plotter and would do as fast as possible. In this case, I'm not entirely sure about that because that temperature, it looks like it's too risky. Or, of course, I have to think about additional cooling. And now after some time, when the process is finished, as you can see, CPU is not working, SSD is not working as well, we can see that our SSD temperature is 33 degrees Celsius. And this is good and normal temperature, around 30 degrees. This is how it looks when it's not being used. If you heard the news or maybe saw my previous video, clinked, Chia application has some serious updates, and now Madmax plotter is integrated into the Chia application itself. So I have started it on my Chia application, and let's see how the processes, disk consumption, processor consumption looks when it's running on the Chia application. Okay, so as we can see, processor is being fully used, the same as on Madmax plotter. Now the disk is also being used quite fully. Memory, again, the same, not so much of a memory is being used. Let's check the temperature. Well, it looks good. Let's refresh. Oh, 55 degrees by Celsius. That's also quite a lot. And as we can see, we have some plots being tuned and some plot being plotted. So everything looks more or less the same in here. Processor is being fully used. SSD disk is being fully used. Temperature is rising almost through the roof again, 55 degrees, but it's just the first percent of a plotting, so it might increase even more later on. Not so good, not so good. Just for a comparison, let's take a look how it looks when the normal Chia process is being started. So with the normal process, as we can see, we have like one plotting process almost finished, another is in the middle, so that's not the stage where most resources is being used, and in these phases everything look quite easy going. SSD is being used just a little bit, CPU also just a little bit. 54, it's still quite hot, and the health status is decreasing like in the ice. It's only 66% from the 70% a few days ago when I started this Madmax testing stuff. Whew, that looks dangerous. I plotted like 30 terabytes before with the standard Chia plotter, and I don't know, I'm not sure how less it went because I did not make any screenshots and so on, but now in less than 1 week, 66%, it's like 4% of disk health status. I have a bad feeling about this. Let's refresh again. Yeah, as we can see, it's still around the same temperature, 50-55. But at least it's not 60 and not trying to reach the 70. Around 60, it's more or less fine. The disk should be able to survive it without any issues. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope this was useful. Please let me know if you're using like Chia plotter or Madmax plotter, how long SSD lasts for you. That's really interesting for me because, like I said, mine health started to decrease really fast. So please share your comments, like what SSD, the fast one I mean, you are using for the plotting and how long does it usually lasts. And see you next time. Cheers. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you like it. And yeah, see you next time. Yes. I have... Nope.